always tell
Yeah.
people it'll take a second. You'll see a red live light come up, which it just did. So guess what? We are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to
What's
another
up?
epic episode of Pin to Gas podcast. And I've been super excited about this since me and Caden met at Cadwell Park at BSB. It's been what an honor it is to sit here and have him on today. It's so welcome, Caden, dude. What is going on?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Thank you for having me on. Like, it's a pleasure for me as well to come on. I've been looking forward to this one as well because we always have good chats. We've always got good chats.
That's right. That's right. So everyone, we actually met like I just said at Cadwell, and man, you know, when you just meet certain people and you just feel the energy and just kind of gravitate, right? So him and his dad Marcus, just what an honor. It really was. The whole weekend we were just chatty, and yeah, he was the first one to actually run Pin to Gas on his motorcycle, which
We did, yeah.
it made
we had a couple stickers on there.
Yeah, it was proper, man. Yeah, thank you. What an honor. But listen, man, let's get into it, man. I've been so excited about this, like I just got done saying. So Caden, welcome to Pin to Gas. Welcome to America, right? With all the American viewers that's going to watch this now and later too. So why don't you introduce yourself, Caden, and tell everybody how you actually got into what we love is two-wheel motorcycles.
Yeah, so I'm Caiden Wilkinson. I'm 21. I'm from Peterborough, but how I got into motorbike racing was actually back when I lived in America. So I used to live in Colorado in a couple places, and basically my dad used to do BMX racing when he was younger, and he was just sort of looking for a BMX race or something to take me to when I was younger. I was about four years old, and he found a motocross race, and we sort of went there, watched, and it was just something I quite liked it. So we looked into it and just got a bike, and that was motocross. So I pretty much started when I was 5-ish, and then raced motocross until I was 16. So when we moved back to England, carried on like with the motocross and stuff, and and then when I was 16, I got an opportunity to hop on a Aprilia 125 and do a super teens class. That was at Thundersport. So I took that opportunity that I got, and that's what got me into this type of racing. Yeah, and I've been doing that for ever since now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what was your proper first race bike, Caden? Away from the dirt, road race bike.
Yeah, it would have been the Aprilia 125. So it was a 2-stroke, real small thing, and I was pretty much the same like height as I am now. So I was a pretty big, like I was 6 foot on this little Aprilia, racing against other people that were like 5'4", 5'6". You know what I mean? Like on like R3s and stuff. So I was at a big disadvantage, but what I did learn is just the racecraft. Like it was just for me anyway. It was good to get on a bike, and that year really just sort of I learned all about the lines and sort of tried to have no bad habits from the start. So it's quite good. And then after that, I just hopped straight on a 600, straight on a Yamaha R6. Afterwards, that was my second bike.
So tell us how that season in 125 went with the Aprilia.
So yeah, that season was a big learning curve, really. We took it. So the bike, I was racing against much more powerful bikes. So for us, it wasn't necessarily the positions I was getting. It was more like, am I improving and just learning about how all this type of racing works, really. So it was a good season for me in terms of learning. Position wise, I did as well as I could, but that's not sort of what we looked at. We were just looking at, right, let's get into it. And then on my second year, that's when I started to sort of try build up on the positions when I moved on to the bigger bike. But yeah, that Aprilia, I did quite like it. It was pretty much just full throttle at every track, everywhere, almost. Yeah, it was a bit nuts. Like the braking markers, I think probably were just before the corner sort of thing. But it was good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, yeah. I find that growing up riding two strokes, especially on the track, man, it's nothing's like a two stroke, right? Especially when everything's right and you get it right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
There is a
amazing
lot
how
of there's a lot of sort of trying to get it right. There were two strokes, isn't there?
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
They are finicky, but man, when you do get them right, there's nothing like them in the world. Nothing, right?
No,
The
I do
sound, the
love two stroke.
smell, yeah, dude, just the way they handle, the confidence they inspire, everything about them is just proper. So moving forward, you went from the 125 from a 6 foot on a 125 to a Yamaha R6.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So the transition going from a 125 to a much heavier, bigger bike,
Oh, it was a big
right?
change. Yeah,
Right.
massive
So
change.
tell us about that. How did that go?
Yeah, so my first taste on a bigger bike was quite a big change. Obviously, much quicker, much heavier, completely different riding style, different lines. It was just like working it all out again. But luckily, from the start, I was doing training with a guy called Steve Brogan, and he's got a race school, and we just worked with him to try sort of help me get a bit quicker. So I had a couple goes on that, and then a couple sessions with him just to like completely get rid of any bad habits, just to teach me learning the bike from the start. And I also had a couple of days out in Spain at Guadex, and that was just literally just taking my time to just learn the bike, learn sort of building up the speed, learning the weight, just really learning about the bike, because it was a massive change, like a really big change. But definitely a good change for me. Felt way more comfortable on a bike. I was very cramped on the 125, and then hopped on the 600. I felt a bit more space, a bit more room. It was just yeah. It was a good change. Like that's when I really started to think, yeah, now this sport is for me. Because at first we were a bit like, oh, will I prefer motocross, or will I start to like this type of racing more? But as soon as I hopped on a 600, that's when it really started to make quite a bit of sense.
That was game over after that, right? The whole game
Yeah,
changed.
yeah.
Yeah. So we got Martin Adams watching. What is up, mate? He's a really good friend of mine. Everybody knows the Clothing Kings.
Oh yeah.
Yes. He is a proper mate. He makes all kinds of clothes. So even you yourself included, if you're, was ever interested in getting some merch made, but we can talk about that later on some other time. But Martin's watching. Jake Marsh, what is up? He's in the house. Julia Wright. You know Julia?
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
Her
she
and
is. She
Sammy.
is.
Yes, I love them guys. I met them Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday when I first met them? Right before Cadwell. Me and Paul went out there. The guy that I met took me out there, and from the moment I met Julia and Sam, it was just like just
they're great
magical.
people.
Yeah, they're
They're
proper.
great people.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. So the R6, how did your first season go racing with the R6? And how long did you actually have that bike?
So I had the R6 for quite a bit because, well, basically, COVID came in literally just as I moved on to that 600. I went to Spain in February, and then March time, everything was kind of like shut down. So I had like a couple races when we could during that period of time. Sort of, it wasn't really the full season. But then my first proper season, obviously I started off quite like far at the back of the grid, but by the end of it, I was I was towards the top, and this was just at club level. But the first season, I made like a lot of progress with speed and just like riding style. Position wise, I can't quite remember what I was getting in that first year, but like I was making some really good progression up the grid every single round, which, to be fair, I've done that pretty much since. It's almost as if every race meeting I seem to be, or every time I go to a track again, like I am getting quicker every time, which is always good to see. That's always good to see. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. So after the Yamaha and COVID and all that, obviously you got that ZX6R that you was on when we met, correct?
Yeah, yeah. There's Kawasaki 636. Yeah.
Yep.
So we I did another season on the R6, and then we thought, right, well, we'll get a new bike now, something something newer. And so we were looking around, and I ended up getting the opportunity to get a 636, and we thought, right, they're a bit quicker out of like from stock, so we thought, well, this would be good. And yeah, so it took me probably a whole season almost, or at least the first half of the season, to get on with that bike. At the start, me and that bike didn't really get on. Completely different to the R6, in my opinion, handling, everything. Took quite a bit of time, to get used to it. And then once I sort of learned how to ride it and adapted like my riding style, we got on. Like, I like that bike quite a lot now. Sort of had some good races on it, and if you see my dog, he's rolling around in the background.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's gorgeous, man. I'm a dog lover, dude. I got two myself. One, Cruz. He's a Tennessee Walker Hound Pit Bull mix. He's like 110 pounds, and he is
big.
He talks a lot. He's big and he talks a lot, meaning that if he's in the room, if I don't physically just have my hand on him, he talks the whole time, right? And it's funny because when he goes out there and barks, he howls just like a hound. He's like, oh, it's hilarious, man. I love it. So my son, he plays a harmonica every once in a while. Not like it's just something he'll just pick up and go on. And Cruz sings with him. I actually have it on video. It's awesome, man. But that
is quite good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But listen, I love the colors of that ZX6R you had, man. Those were mint, man. You could
that's my thing. That's my thing. Bright colors. I don't know if you can see because the lighting, but this is my first pair of leathers up there, and it's pretty much the same. Yellow, bright orangey red, and blue. That's just sort of been my colors from the start. I just thought, well, if I get to design my own suit and stuff, I was like, we've got to make it bright. We've got to make me stand out. So that's what we went for. And then over time, the shark sort of came into it. And so that's sort of like my little like image at the minute we've got going on.
I like it. I like it. It's proper, and then that Pin to Gas sticker just blended so well with all the other.
Yeah, it does. Bright colors.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, the purple and the pink and the green. Yeah, it's awesome. And listen, Nicky Williams says the bike is mine now, buddy. Right? So.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Be coming his way. He'll be showing me up on it.
So Nicky, man, listen, he's been a huge supporter of the podcast, and we chat quite a lot. And he had hit me up and said that he wanted me to talk about you and him racing, and him kind of chasing you around. Like at first you were chasing him, then all of a sudden he got to where he's chasing you now, right? So tell us how you and Nicky met, and you said earlier you guys, well, before we went live the other day, you guys did some endurance racing together too, correct?
We so basically I joined up with Nicky to do the endurances when I started racing at No Limits. That was purely just to start more seat time on that 636 to get used to it. So we teamed up and did the second half of the season together with that. And Nicky's a great guy. We just got on like straight away, like him, like with all of my family, because it's me, my dad, and my granddad primarily who go to all the rounds. And it was a good little like team we had going on there. And definitely it was the endurances. It's like a different type of racing completely. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's quite nice being part of like an actual team where you're all putting something in and you're all sort of having to work together. Like quite like that concept. So I really enjoyed doing the endurances for sure.
Yeah, endurance. He said Nikki Williams says, Chris, I was kidding. His lap times are embarrassing compared to mine. Hang on, I'll bring it up on the screen. Look, boom. Nikki, come on, man. You know you're super fast, man. And yeah, I actually look forward to actually having a chat with Nikki sometime. He says he's doing the full season endurance and sprints. And Julie said we actually met on a Thursday. That's right. I couldn't remember if it was a Thursday or a Wednesday, but yeah. So 2023, Caiden, BSB Supersprt, man. Tell me how you ended up racing in the Supersprt class in BSB. Your expectations going into 2023 and what you actually achieved. Did you achieve any of your goals at the end of it all?
So what we wanted to do was I wild carded my first BSB at Cadwell the year before, and it went really well. Cadwell's my favorite track. It's the track I do the best at.
Mine too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's the best track, and so that went well. So we thought, okay, next season, so last season, we were like, we'll try do as many rounds as we can. So I did Cadwell, Donington, and then Brands Hatch as well. And so basically the goal was just because I was doing the cup, and the goal was really just to see sort of where I am amongst sort of that grid. And then at Cadwell this year, I even scored some points. So, you know, that was a good achievement for me. I was quite happy with that. Some good positions. The main goal really was just to turn up and see what I could sort of do. Do you know what I mean? See how far I could get up the grid and stay on the bike is always sort of the main goal.
Right.
Yeah, because it start me in that 636. We did like a crash. I think the first time I ever went on it, I might have crashed it at Donington. So it was just sort of like stay on, especially in the wet weather, stay on. But no, definitely had quite a good couple races at BSB. So I was very happy with it. Very happy with how I went. And then the plan was going to probably be to do to do the season at BSB on the 600, but then plans changed, and now we're going up a bike. So we're going to be working out what we're going to be doing then.
So is this kind of your little 2024 plans?
Yeah, I guess if we're leading into the 2024, I'll be going up to a 1000cc on a Kawasaki, and yeah, so bit of a big jump again up to the 1000. So I think it'll be good. I think hopefully I'll take to it. I just, I think it's probably the right time now rather than doing another season on the 600. Just move up now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any issues of you having any issues at all, man. Because I was there personally, and I seen you ride, and I was cheering for you the whole time too. Every time I see you, I was like, "Let's go, Caden!" And man, so yeah, you'll be just fine, bro. You'll be just fine. Of course, it's more electronics, but dude, at that side of it, you'll still be yes, Nikki Williams said, and I agree with him. ZX10's British, super stock champ. Yep, let's go, Caden. That's right. So, I want to know your first impressions of the very first time, your very first lap around Cadwell Park. What was that like? What like the emotions like? Setting up for the jump for the very first time. You had to been nervous, right? Because you've seen it, you've been there, you've watched people, and now here you are.
I'd say, for me, when I rode Cadwell on the 125, it was a completely different track to as soon as you do it on a bigger bike. So on the 125, it was pretty much just full throttle almost everywhere. But where it really started to feel like a special track is definitely when I got onto these the 600s. Just coming from a motocross background, as soon as I was on a powerful bike and I'm presented with effectively a jump, I just had to try see if I could jump it. So I think I probably went over it a couple times doing a bit of a wheelie, and then I just sort of got the knack for like getting a little bit of air, and then over time, I think BSB this year, I was getting some serious air. Like,
Yes,
you know, like I do love the mountain. It's probably the best. This is the best bit about any racetrack. Like, is the Cadwell Park mountain. It's just unreal. It's just unreal. It might be a little bit slower to jump it. However, like for me, I've never been able to go over it without jumping fast. I don't get the whole rolling off. So I literally just hold it flat out and just sort of jump. Like, it just feels natural to me. So yeah, no, it's a pretty amazing feeling though, flying through the air on like a sport bike, super bike. It's
proper, right?
Weird sensation at first.
I tell everybody this, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life on two wheels is when you guys, you know, even coming down that short little straight, left, right, and then boom, that jump. It's that whole little section. It's like us as fans, at least for me, when I'm sitting there watching, it's like I get anxiety and it's anticipation build up, right? And then all of a sudden I see you guys come out and you're like 4 foot in the air on the rear wheel. And I was like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Like, TV does not do this no justice. It is the most beautiful thing, like I said, I've ever seen on two wheels.
It's definitely a special moment to do it as the rider as well, especially when you get it right. So a couple of times I've sort of got it very good where I've probably landed on the top effectively, just on the back wheel and slowly bring the front down. It's just when you get it sweet, it's just like, it's just like what a feeling.
Yeah.
But
have you ever got it wrong up there? And crashed?
Never crashed. However, my clamp for the bar snapped, so I jumped and the bar came out. So I landed because I jump it every single time.
Right.
So I actually jumped and landed obviously with the bar wasn't actually in, it was just loose. So I had to go around the whole track. I think this might have been on a track day or like a test day anyway. So luckily it wasn't in a race. But yeah, I had to ride around with the bar not in the clamp. It's because it had a crack and it just slipped out, and that was scary. It's the only time I've like thought, oh god, like landing, because I felt it in the air. The bar like just twisted as if like I don't really know. Like it just twisted and as I landed it just came out and I was like, oh my god. Luckily I didn't crash because I think that probably would have hurt. I've had a couple where I've landed and a little wobble from landing at a bit of an angle, but nothing crazy apart from that one time.
Dude, that would I would have had to change my underwear after that one, right? Yeah, for sure. So Nikki says he actually took someone in the air this year over the mountain. Absolute quality. Yes, he did. I seen it. I forgot about it until I read your comment. Absolutely.
There's a pretty good picture of it of one of the times as well.
Bro, it was like again, it's hard to explain, dude, especially because, you know, we had met, you know, you're my mate and I'm cheering for you. And I seen that. I was like, bro, this is like the most badass thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, that's one of those that's one of those moments where I just saw the opportunity and I thought, well, it's like if I can just get my nose in front, then you know, I'm on the right side for the corner as well. So I just sort of squared it a little bit further off, went off the right side where there's almost a bit more of a lip. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of get a bit more air, I guess. I just pinned it. Sort of, I couldn't actually describe to you what I do. My body wise, I don't know. It's just natural.
You just do it.
I think I like stand up a little bit. I don't really know, but yeah. And I just got him. And there's a great picture. I'm not sure if you've seen it, where it just looks photoshopped. There's somebody, and then like I'm just sort of up here. It's a great photo. It's such a good photo. But No, that felt pretty cool. I think I might have overtook 2 people in that race by doing that, which is just a bit insane, really. But
it's
yeah,
listen, that's the best overtake all year, in my opinion. That was yeah, that is proper for sure. And then we actually have dude, Sean Wine. What is up, my man? He says Cadwell is my favorite track in the UK. Absolutely. Of
definitely.
course, I've talked to several riders that race in the UK, and Cadwell's not their favorite track at all. But
No, I don't think many people actually like
no,
Cadwell. I
no.
think because it's such a thin track and it's very well, very different to all the other tracks. Yeah. But I love it. I love it.
I do too. That's what makes it Spark special, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like the farmer with the 2 sons, motocross track, the old house is still standing, it's still there, and then the way Cadwell evolved, right? And it's super narrow. That's one of the first impressions I got as soon as I seen it. I was like, holy shit, look how narrow this thing is. Right?
Some parts of the track, it's like you wouldn't think they could do car racing or anything there with it being so thin, but
yeah. Now you're right.
Interesting.
It does. So when I went, it was Thursday, like Julia said, and actually it was a track day for bikes and cars. But also what impresses me about the track, because the first front straightaway, right? The track is wide open pretty much from the front straightaway compared to after the mountain, right? So, dude, my favorite sections too is front straightaway, that fast ass left hand corner you guys go into, right, ripping it, and then you flick it to the right and it's a blind crest. You can't even see over the corner, right? So that's a very tricky part of the track. So learning that part is proper, because you have big balls as fast as you guys going through there, right?
Yeah,
so it's set up for that.
You can pretty much it's just go as fast as you dare up that left. Like I've got it wrong before, a little bit too confident. I was going up it very quick, going up the left, and I was carrying more speed than I'd ever carried before, and sort of panicked a little bit. So I leant a little bit more, caught my elbow on the floor, like the rumble strip on the inside, which then really confused me because I was going like very quick. Ended up pretty much pulling me off the left side of the track, and I ended up going straight on and couldn't save and went down. Luckily, I was all right, but yeah, that was a scary moment. And after that, I was like, right, okay, if we're going to be trying to increase the speed, we're going to do it right. Build up to it. But no, that's definitely a very technical. And then flipping it to the right, you've kind of just got to aim where you want to go, and just and then when you get over it, you just got to continue. You got to trust what you're doing.
Trust
really.
it. Yeah, you just got to wing it, man. That's what one thing too I love about that track, man. It's super technical. It's the first part of it's wide open. It's blind. It's hilly. It's everything you want in a track. And then all of a sudden, you got this special motocross jump right towards the end of it. And then once you land from that jump, man, that back section through there is super narrow. You got tire walls on both sides. The spectators can stand and literally be 6-7 feet away from you guys, balling through there, right? And then it goes into that one right-hand corner where you don't want to mess up at all, because there is absolutely no runoff at all. And then bam, right back out, pin the gas, wide open. It's such a magical place. It really is. So listen, we have a comment from Brad Walker. What is up? He says, great interview. You have fans here in Colorado. Caiden, Colorado, man. Yeah. So speaking of Colorado, I actually lived there for a little while in Littleton. I went to 7th and 8th grade out there. I miss Colorado, man. It was awesome. It was
it was. I did like living there as well. It was great being sort of so close to the mountains and just everything. Really, it's just like it was a nice place to live.
Yeah, man, because summertime, it's 90 degrees, it's hot outside, you're in shirts and t-shirts, you look, what looks like 50 miles away. The mountains are covered in snow still, and you think to yourself, you're like, how's it so hot out here right here where I am, right? And then in the wintertime, bro, when it snowed, right? It was proper
I've got
snow.
photos of a little me sort of with snow built up like way higher than my head and like going up there. Some crazy photos of the snow.
But you know what, dude? We're lucky that we got to experience that in our lifetime, right? Because a lot of people don't, they might experience snow, but you don't experience snow until you live in Colorado and you get this major blizzard and snow's freaking 6 feet up your front door and you can't even open your door. And it's like, dude, I remember our school buses would come pick us up. They had chains on them and they wouldn't close schools unless it snowed over 18 inches of snow. That's almost 2 feet of snow. Right.
Yeah.
So out here in little old Virginia, we get a little snowflake on the ground. Everybody's like, oh my God, everybody freaks out. I got to go buy all the eggs and the milk and schools are closing down. It's crazy, man. But
it's a bit like that over here as well.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like I think school might have got called off once from like icy conditions. Not really even much snow, just icy conditions because like, some of the buses couldn't get there and they just called it all off. And it was kind of like, you would like, if this was in other places, they'd be so much like more prepared, but it just doesn't happen often. Like, it just doesn't happen often.
Yeah, because I remember too, Caden, like we would be dressed up like the Michelin Man going down to the school bus because you're going through, a foot at least of snow and it's cold as you know what. And then as soon as you got to school, everybody had shirts and shorts on underneath because they had the heat on, freaking like the sun. It was crazy. But it was a good time. It was. So Sean says, yes, a lot of people don't like it, but being a road racer, this place is to test road racing for a lot of people. I mean, I could see that, Sean, for sure, because how narrow it is and you can't really make no mistakes. And yeah, it's a proper place. He also says that you're correct. I always find about 1,000 meter of the left side is the best of the mountain approaching the jump. And then Julia says, but there's no Cadwell Park there. No, you're right. There is no Cadwell Park in Colorado. If it was, Colorado would be the best place in the world, right? I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. So other than Cadwell Park, what's your other favorite track, Caden?
I do like Donington. However, to be fair, I've never really ridden the Alton Park too much, but that track really grew on me the last time I was there. I think it's like another one of those tracks that it's got loads of different sort of technical things there, and it kind of made it quite interesting. I think I've been there twice or something like not really 2 or 3 times. So it was a bit of a learn. There's just so many blind corners and stuff like that. So Alton was growing on me, but Donington Park, I love Donington Park as well.
Yeah, Donington's a proper place, man. There's been a lot of great races and professional racing over the years at Donington, man. And it's been proper, dude. Mike Smith is watching. What is up, Mike? Do you know Mike Smith? He raced in the BMW Cup.
Yeah.
Mike's awesome. Yeah. I'm actually I need to set up a chat with him so we could I want to get him on too. He was proper, man. I had a good laugh with Mike. He made everybody I met there at Cadwell Park. Caden was listen, it was the best time I've ever had at any race in the world. Being such a big fan of I am of the sport, not just British Superbike, of course, all of them. Being that, BSB's always been one of my favorite series, but it's grown to be my favorite series. And I tell people that all the time. And I'll say it again, just so people can't, say that that's not what I said before. I don't think that them guys are just so much faster than anybody else in the world, man. It's look at the tracks, right? The tracks is one, and two, they're super bikes, man. They don't have all those electronic aids on it. So it's like the old proper school way of road racing, which is right here, right? Not all these laptops and PlayStation controllers and buttons and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love it, dude. Donington's good. Cadwell's obviously, I keep saying it, is my favorite, but man, I love Phillip Island too, right? I would love to go to Phillip Island. That place is what a track that place is. And then Magello, man, Magello too is another one of my favorites. probably my second favorite would be Magello. Never been. Have you ever been to Italy
No,
before?
no. I've only ever been to one track abroad, and that was Guadix in Spain.
How'd you
Yeah,
like that track?
that was good. I mean, that was the first time really I'd really ridden on a 600, so it was more learning the bike as opposed to the track. But
Right.
I did quite like it, to be fair.
So let me ask you this, Caden. Before a race, do you have like any superstitions? Do you put like the left boot on always first? A favorite pair of lucky underwear you ain't washed in 4 months, or
Yeah. Not really, to be honest. I don't really have anything like that. Not that I can think of, anyway. Not with road racing. With motocross, I used to wear like different colored gloves. Like I had a yellow pair and a black pair, and I got into this thing of just wearing like one yellow and one black. But for this, not really. Like, I don't know. I just sort of get my helmet on and just get to it, sort of thing. Yeah.
how do you get in the mind state of it though? Do you just as soon as you throw the helmet on, your alter ego comes out and you completely change? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have like, I don't really sit there and sort of like, have like, I think I'll just work well under pressure. So, I always try to just get to the gate, like, or to the grid even, as late as possible. So I find myself sort of just like get myself almost pumped up by sort of like the anticipation of, am I actually going to even get there on time? Like, no, I don't always leave it that late, but I don't know. I just sort of get my helmet on, get my gloves on. Sort of as soon as I get on the bike, then yeah, I'm just feeling, I sort of feeling it. But when I'm on the grid, I've noticed that I do this thing where like I kind of like imagine my feet are on the floor now. I'm like tapping from side to side with my feet, and then they start to go quicker. And then as the lights go off, then I just sort of go off. But I've noticed recently that I do that every single time, and I don't really know why. Everyone else must be looking at me, and I'm like happy feet with my feet just sort of like tapping either side. But that's sort of just like that's like the just before setting off for the race. I don't know if that's just me like hyping myself up or what, but. Yeah, that's something I do.
Yeah, it probably. I mean, listen. Before I do every podcast, man, it's like nerves, anxiety, all this stuff builds up. Right, I get sweaty
Yeah,
and yeah. So I always go and have a little pep talk to myself. Right, it's the first time I'm ever talking about it, really. But I look in the mirror and be like, "Dude, you're gonna kill it." Blah 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 blah. Have a good time, and all this stuff. It's just a way that you just I guess mentally prepare.
yeah.
It's it's crazy, man. Especially, being such a fan, man, and finally going to the place I've always wanted to go to, which is the UK and especially Cadwell, and then to run into people that everybody that I met and actually end up being mates with them and having them on the podcast and conversations, and even before the podcast and after the podcast, it's always been a dream, man. And it's freaking proper, dude. I can't say it enough. But listen, Sean says, great seeing young talent coming on and just getting on with it. Good luck to him. To be great watching your progress. Absolutely.
Cheers. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Caden's gonna be good luck. Yep. He's gonna be a proper podium winner, champion. Absolutely. We all see it, at least I do, right? So
Yeah.
So mental preparation, you just kind of wing it. Once the helmet goes on, you turn into the villain, right?
I do. I sort of something I've always struggled with. I don't know if it's the right word, but is into the first corner. I'd used to sort of. I don't know. I need to. What I do now is I tell myself, right, when I'm on the start and I'm looking down at that first corner, I need to actively keep telling myself just push to the front. Do you know what I mean? Just push to the front, because I find I could find, well, not so much now, but before I'd always find myself settling for like if someone's next to me either side going into that corner, I might sort of not I might just let them have that position. But now it's sort of like I just give myself the mental that I need to be at the front. I need to be at the front, and then that sort of, I think by telling yourself stuff like that, it does really just translate in the riding. So I've always struggled with sort of not being aggressive enough, really, riding on the bike. So that's something I've been working on, just sort of telling myself that. Sort of that's something I do say. But that's probably the only sort of thing where I'm actually like actively like thinking about sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, it works.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of racers that have a self conversation with themselves, sitting on the grid, visor down, lights come on, it's fucking go time, right? So you got to, and it's such a mental game. Road racing is such a mental game. It causes a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. People end up, I don't want to say, the mental game is so strong, has to be for a road racer. As soon as I think your guard gets let down, or you get something stuck in your head, and it turns from all positives to negative, it could have a nasty effect mentally on you, right, as a racer, to where people would be worried about you, because it's something. Mental health is something that needs to be talked about too a lot as far as road racing goes.
Because you are taking on quite a big toll with yourself, really, trying to always be better, always sort of, if you have a bad race, not letting it get to you too much. If you have a crash, sort of there is quite a lot of mental sort of thinking and just trying to be positive. Sometimes you can find yourself beating yourself up a bit too much.
Well, yeah, especially like let's say if you paid for a ride, and you got whatever 300,000 euros in it, and then you're not doing well because all this stress, and I can't do it. Can you do it? I'm not good enough. And then you get kicked off the team, or next year you don't get a ride, and it's just a dark hole that people seem to people that it's hard to dig yourself out of. That's why I think it's important to have really good people around you in the paddock with you at all times, no matter how bad you feel, how bad the race is gone, how bad the weekend. You have your best mate, your girlfriend, whoever it is, that's always like, look, man, you're a champion. You come today, you did the best you could. Just take all the positives, forget the negatives, because everybody's got them, right? So just learn from all the positives, and it's hard when you're in that dark place too. Sean says this is right. Same as TJ Toms. He had to do the same from starts. And so he's improved by being aggressive, especially into the first corner. Yeah, it is. I find that a lot of racers, they want to, obviously that's the goal, is to get there, because it's less work that you have to do on the back end of the races.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. If you can get in the front from the start, then
you could tag along and choose your strategy from there.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, which is good. It's awesome, man. So your plans for 2024, we already talked about ZX10R. Can't wait to see you on it. What are you doing all rounds at BSB this year, or are you just doing a select few?
We haven't got a definite plan yet. We're gonna see what happens when I go out to Spain. See what the speeds. My dog's just come over to say hello.
Hello,
mate. We're gonna see sort of how I'm getting on with the bike in Spain, but full season of BSB is the goal. Yeah, 100%. I do think had to get out of the habit of riding the 600 like 1,000. Sort of just I'd be braking as late as possible, turning the bike, and then just sort of I wasn't carrying corner speed at first. So hopefully when I go on to this 1,000, I should hopefully take to it. That's the plan. I think my dog wants me to let him out or something. He's pestering.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let him out. He's a cutie too. Look at him. What's his name? We'll have to figure out his dog's name. He's a cutie. He's doing the full season, no question. Nikki, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. Nikki says you're gonna do the full season. No question. So 2024, Caden,
Yeah.
who is your mechanic? Who is your teammates, right? Who is within the pit going with you to every race? Is it still your dad and your grandpa, or you have more people?
Yeah, still gonna be the same thing. And then we had Nikki come to quite a few rounds with me as well, being the pit chief.
The pit chief, I like it.
Yeah, that's what we call him. Helps out a lot. And then also there's a guy called Mark Quelch who, from the start of my racing, he's always helped us out. He's been in the game for quite a long time, so like, he's ran his own teams before and stuff like that. And so that's sort of who we run with as well. And then we get help with the mechanic side of it and stuff like that as well. But mainly it's just me, my dad, my granddad, and then anyone else who comes to help. We've got like Nikki as well. Like, yeah, it's just us. It's not. I'm not sort of in like any of the bigger teams. We're just keeping it sort of like a nice family
yeah.
sort of thing. Because my granddad's pretty much come to every single race for like ever since I've started, sort of thing. So.
I think I met your granddad there at Cadwell.
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I met him. Yeah. He was always sitting down in the chair when I come by to see if you were there or talk to your dad. Yeah, man, it was awesome. It's good stuff, man. It's good to have family and the people you really care about.
Oh yeah.
With you at all time. Look, Julia says spanner, man. Nikki Williams says I'm definitely a fucking spanner. That's probably, man. Listen, Nikki wasn't there at Cadwell with you because I would have loved to.
No, that was the what? Yeah, it wasn't. But I think that was the one he had to miss. But I think I had my uncle with us there.
Yeah.
Helping out.
Sean says it's hard for young riders to get funds to race full season. So difficult in these hard financial days. Listen, it is. It's not only in BSB, it's everywhere here in Moto America too. It's really difficult, man. It's so expensive. People don't realize that. Like the sport, it's like it's people put up second and third mortgages on their houses and parents get divorces over it. It's such a high paying game, right? It really is. And it's really hard for anybody to get any type of sponsor, especially these days, right? Because the game's changed. Back when in Moto America, back when it was AMA, Matt Millad and Ben Spees and them, all the top guys with full factory teams are actually in the game. Yeah, they were making, I'm sure, $1 million+ a year. Right now, it's like probably the top guys. I don't know off the top of my head, right? I'm just guessing. Maybe makes 300,000, 400,000, right? But as far as the sponsorship goes, it's like for a junior cup, to be in junior cup with the 400cc series here in Moto America, right? A junior cup race bike, let's say at the top level. Pristine, 100% front runner. It's probably every bit of $20,000, right?
Yeah.
In the bike, and we're talking about a 400, right? We're not talking about a 600. We're not talking about. So it's then every weekend, you're spending what, $2,500, $3,000, right?
Yeah.
But right, tires and all. But see, you guys got it easy. Oh, okay. I don't mean to say it easy. I apologize for that statement. You guys have a lot more advantage than anybody else. Because, dude, to go from north to south of the UK is what, 6-7 hour drive. Shoot, you wouldn't even be halfway through the state of Texas in 6 or 7 hour drive, right? No. So the expense out here in America to travel to all the Moto America rounds from California, Seattle to Florida to Atlanta to New Jersey to it's a big expense, man. And finding the sponsorships and the money. I always say that we need outside sponsorships, like people that ain't been in the game. Like bring the cigarettes back, bring Marlboro, bring Camel, bring Pepsi. What happened to Pepsi? What happened? Right? Where you at? Where's Gatorade? right? When Michael Jordan was in the game, we had the National Army, we had Gatorade, and as soon as he left, they left, right? So I think if we had more outside sponsorships, I think it would help grow the sport.
Yeah, it would help.
For sure. 110% grow the sport. So, dude, bro, this is awesome. 2024, man. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of those W's out there for you. So
yeah,
I like to,
hopefully.
yeah, right. That come on, mate. You got this, man, for sure. 100%. And I can't wait to actually come back out there. And this time I come, it'll be 2025. I want to do 2 rounds. Cadwell's going to be one. It's either going to be the round before or the round after, and I want to have a chance to actually spend some time with all you guys. Go out and grab a bite to eat, have a pint.
That would definitely be good.
Yeah, some fish and chips for sure. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So, listen, let's get away from all the motorcycle talk for a few minutes. We'll come back to it. I want to get to know Caden away from motorcycles, right? So, I want to start it off like a favorite Netflix series. And what you're watching currently right now.
So currently right now, I've been watching, so Netflix wise, are you talking, do you mean just like a show? Because I've been watching a series that's not on Netflix at the minute.
Okay. Well, what is it?
And it's called Celebs Go Dating, right? You probably it's a new thing that me and my mate have just got started into watching it. It's just one of these stupid little like reality TV almost shows, but it's just such a good watch, especially kind of when you see the different characters. Well, like they are real people, but sort of it's just quite a good watch. We've been watching like quite a lot of them at the minute, but in terms of like fully blown like series, I think Breaking Bad's got to be like my all-time favorite.
Facts.
I just think it's just
brilliant. So it's brilliant,
like,
right? But dude, also with that series, man, like I could see somebody really doing that in real life. Like,
yeah. No, like, I bet it probably happens way more than you think.
Yeah. Breaking Bad, yeah. Nikki Williams says Peppa Pig. Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't want to mention that one. But
right.
Peppa Pig, I'm watching that all the time, especially at the van at the track.
Absolutely, it's always on record. Shoot, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's awesome. So, I just got done watching Ted Lasso. Man, what a show that was!
Oh yeah, no, that's a great show,
dude. Rory Kent is my dude, bro. And that show, he was awesome. Rory fucking Kent.
No, I really like that. I think my mum and dad actually were the ones that got me to watch it. So I threw it on, and it's just so well made. It's like quite a good balance between being funny and sort of like, but actually talking about football. Like it was definitely a good watch. I enjoyed that.
I did. And we both know this guy really well. Marcus, what he said, Celebs gone dating, you tart.
Yeah.
And then he laughed. That's awesome. Yeah. So I've also been started it out there in the UK, was Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, Peaky Blinders is
Blinders.
That's a big one.
Yeah. I haven't. I'm still on the first season. I need to get back into it, but I started because my buddy. So I'm big into soccer, football, the real football, not the American handball, but the real football, right?
Yeah.
All my friends are like, "What? You like football?" I'm like, "Yeah, the real football, soccer, dude. Soccer's a fucking badass sport, bro. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I used to play a bit when I was younger. It's just like I feel like pretty much every lad in the UK either picks rugby or they pick football to play, and I picked football. But
I know you just seen that comment. Marcus said, "I thought your favorite series on that was Sex Ed." Whose is it, Marcus? Right? That's everybody's favorite. Sex Ed, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Favorite movie, Caden?
I think my favorite movie might be Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I think probably is my favorite movie. I don't like watching movies more than once or twice. I can't really watch a movie 3 times because I think I know exactly what's going to happen. But that movie I could watch, like, do you know what I mean? Like over and over and over.
Yeah.
I just love that movie. I think I'm quite into like cars and stuff like that. And that movie's just like, it's just, for me anyway, it's got a lot of my favorite cars in. So such a good watch. What about yourself?
Me? Oh man, dude. So I'm a big Star Wars nerd, right? So I like Star
Yeah.
Wars, but as far as sci-fi goes, I like, man, that's such a good question because I like, man, there's a lot of good movies. Like I like the Matrix. I thought the Matrix was
Yeah.
awesome, right? John Wick, of course. Who don't like
John
John
Wick.
Wick?
Yeah.
I like anything and almost everything Pixar, Disney, cartoons. I watch all that stuff, right? Like Cars, Moa, all that stuff. It's that's basically what I watch. And honestly, man, I watch if I was gonna have to choose anything to watch, and it would be the only thing in the world that I could watch forever again in my life, I would say it either have to be probably Top Gun would be my number one, right? And it'd have to be, oh man, Faster, one of the documentaries that Neil did on MotoGP, Faster,
Yeah.
the fastest, and then the Doctor, the Texas Tornado, the Kentucky Kid, stuff like that. Of course, any TT season, I don't care what it is. You can give me 89 to 2023, man. I'd be glued to it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, okay, to your question, favorite movie all time, Top Gun. That's my answer. Top Gun.
Yeah,
for sure. Top Gun. Favorite music. Well, what kind of music do you listen to?
I'm mainly sort of like a rap and R&B guy.
Right.
Myself.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Drake.
Man, I've been into Young Dolph here.
Yeah.
You ever listen to any Young Dolph?
I probably have, but like I don't know from the name.
Well, I'll send you some. I will send you some Dolph. I like Dolph. I always say golf. Doug. Golf, man. I mean, golf's fun. Hey, I like playing Tiger Woods on the PlayStation, but in real life too, I do like to play some golf. It's that's a really mental game. It's frustrating as you know what, and again, it's one of those games that's really expensive if you really get into golf for sure. Bahaz Williams, what is up? He says, "What an amazing, talented young man. Good luck for 2024."
Cheers,
absolutely. Doug says, Forrest Gump for me. Life's a box of chocolates, right? Forrest Gump, man. What a proper movie that was, right?
Yeah, that is a good one.
Save It Private Ryan's another one, man. That was really good.
Yeah, no, I did like that. Movies that are sort of like sort of built off like an emotional like thing where I think it just makes it a bit of a better watch.
Yeah,
it
does do, and also like docuseries, right? Like I like a lot of docuseries like murders and just crazy shit like that. Yeah,
I do like sort of crime sort of documentaries and stuff on Netflix. I find myself just binge watching the whole thing pretty much in one go.
Oh, bro, dude, did you watch that one? Don't Fuck with Cats.
Yeah,
bro,
that one was odd. Like, I think they highlight that there really is some weird sort of like people out there doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it was. Sean says, "So sorry, I have to sign off. Got someone arrived. Take care. Good luck. 24. Love the podcast, buddy. Sean, I love you too, mate. And what an honor it always is to have you on." So my man Martin Adams says W and Lewis says W. Never seen it.
W's in the chat.
Yeah, W. And then of course Nikki Williams, Don't Fuck with Caps. Absolute dude. It was one of the most intense docuseries I watched. That just blew your mind because you never know where it was gonna go. Right? It was
I usually find that some series you can kind of like, especially in movies, you can kind of guess like what's going on, but you really couldn't. I couldn't anyway.
That it just sucked me in so hard. It was really good. So books. I'm a big book reader. I take it back. I'm a big audio book listener, right? If I find myself that if I pick up a book, I always got So I'm such a nerd, man. I got so many of
Yeah.
these laying around from every race I go to,
Oh
man.
yeah.
I got MotoGP. Obviously now I got BSB in my collection, which
Yeah.
is my all-time favorite. But I always got some around. But I find myself, if I do this and I get into it right, boom, I'm out like a light. Whereas if I do an audio book, I can concentrate more because I really gotta listen on what's being said instead of reading it. Even though I could read something, because I got bad ADHD. Okay, so I could literally be reading something and read the same sentence 3 times and only catch maybe 3 or 4 words from it because my mind's
Yeah.
thinking about whatever it's thinking about. Versus an audio book, then I can just yeah, just listen to it, right? So I'm currently listening to Andrew Bourdain's book, which is
Mhm.
awesome. Just got done listening to oh my god, like Randy Lanier, bro. Randy Lanier was a race car driver, drug
Yeah.
smuggler. And that book takes you on this wild ride, bro. It's
Yeah. I
dude. So
bet
he
that's quite a good story.
Oh man, it's good, Caden, because he's I don't want to give too much away, but obviously he start small, funds his race team, and it's just bro, it's a crazy book, but that's what I'm currently just got done and listening to right now.
Yeah.
What do you have in your stash that you're listening to?
I'm not really a big book reader. I've never really been a big book reader, to be honest. I think audiobook wise, me and my friends went on a big European road trip not that long ago, last month, and we threw on a Harry Potter book, audiobook. And so like that, like pretty much went through the whole book in the van, just driving around. My mate was driving and yeah, literally going through like multiple countries, just listening to the Harry Potter book. But it's quite good to listen to the story. But in terms of physical book reading, I don't do a lot of it, to be
Yeah,
honest. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I've much prefer sort of just like watching a movie or something like that. That's just what I'm like, to be honest. But
No, it's good.
maybe I should get into reading books. Like, I don't know. It's just something I've never really ever done. So I've never, apart from at school and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like the audiobooks, like I said, because it like it immerses you kind of in the story, you know. And so,
Yeah.
what did you think of Harry Potter? Are you a fan now?
Oh yeah, I do like Harry Potter. I
You
do
know
like
what?
Harry.
I've never watched a Harry Potter movie. I need to.
Seriously.
Yeah, I swear, I've never sat down and watched the. I've caught bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but I have never sat down and watched from the first Harry Potter all the way to the last one. My dad's got the new Harry Potter video game on the PS5, and
That's a pretty insane game. I've played it.
yeah, he loves it. That's what, dude. And look who we got, dude. Luke Hedger. What is up, mate, bro? Listen, Luke's a good mate of mine. You know Luke, Caden?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I had him on the podcast proper, man. Can't wait. Can't wait for part 2. So you guys stay tuned. He is what a guy, man. What a guy. So Luke says, I think us racers struggle to read only one thing I can read is my pit board. Facts, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Stick to reading the pit board, the lap time and position. That's what I
That's
need to
it.
know.
That's it. And then Doug says Lee Child, any Jack Reacher. Yeah, those are good too. I haven't Harry Potter is king. So yeah, you know what? When I get off here, I'm gonna go in there and I'm actually gonna watch the first Harry
Yeah, you'll
Potter
have to.
movie. Yeah,
You'll
I
have to.
got
I
to
think
now.
they were all on Netflix. I don't know if they still are now, but they did add like every single one on there.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I will for sure. So if you were stranded on a desert island, okay, and you can
Yes.
only have one book, one CD, and one video game, and one movie, what would it be?
Book wise, probably a Harry Potter book or something because I know that I like the story, so I knew that I'd probably like the book, and I know the books are quite good. Movie, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what movie I'd want to pick because I'm not sure I mean, it would probably have to be Tokyo Drift, otherwise I couldn't watch it more than once. But then that might ruin my favorite movie for me if I have to watch it loads. I'm not sure.
Right.
And what were the other things? Book, movie,
Music.
Well, just any Drake, any
Any
Drake
Drake.
song.
What's the worst Drake album in your opinion?
I don't know. I don't know if he's got a worse album, but like
your least favorite.
Yeah, like some of the earlier ones I've never really listened to before. Or no, not that, but like there might be like one or two songs on there. But I've not really been like So Far Gone is probably one of his earliest albums.
Yeah.
I've just read like not many songs on there I like, but some of his probably my favorite album. Like I think Dark Lane demo tapes. That's probably my favorite album. There's just a lot of songs in there that just know off by heart. Like me and a couple of my mates are sort of big Drake fans, so we've always got Drake on in the car. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to see him in concert?
I have seen him at a festival called Wireless. He came out as like a surprise act. So
nice.
that was really good. That was really good.
I like Wiz Khalifa is one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa.
I love Wiz. I actually seen him live, and he actually put on one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Dude, he was just so like in tune with everybody, talking to the crowd, getting everybody into it, telling them how he appreciated and loved everybody. And it was just, it's just really cool to see that side instead of just people coming out. Like I've seen Wu-Tang and Ludacris, and they come out and they hoop and holler and da 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 da, and then be out, right? Where Wiz actually put on a show, like a real show. It was really good. It was awesome. Celebrity crush, Caden. Who is your celebrity crush?
I don't really know off the top of my head, but me and my mate yesterday we were watching a bit of celebs go dating, as we do whenever I go to Nottingham, and there's this Kate Moss has got a sister called Lottie Moss, right? And we were thinking, do you know what? She's just like, that might be a new crush, like. Not my usual type, but yeah, I'd never really seen her before, and it was making sense. So yeah, that might be a new one.
Okay, but, that's good. That's awesome.
What about yourself? Like,
oh man, dude, I think all women are beautiful in their own way, right? But dude, man, I was getting ready to say, man, I just had a brain fart. Lena, Adam 22's wife.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I would say is her for sure. She is. Yeah, that's my celebrity crush right there. She's awesome for sure. Yeah, man. So, you like we covered Star Wars or Star Trek? I've never been a big Star Trek fan.
I think my dad watched. I do remember like seeing it on the TV, but I've never like watched it on my own. Not recently, anyway. But I'm definitely more a Star Wars fan myself. Yeah, I do love Star Wars.
Brad says all the best for 2024. And then hold on, where to go? She's beautiful. Yes, she is. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Doug, share for me. Ha ha ha. Share. Right? Yeah, dude, Share. Man, I ain't heard that name in a long time. Share. I wonder, Share. That's good stuff right there. So let me ask you this, Caden. Favorite MotoGP rider?
I think for me, it would probably. I feel like everyone loves Rossi, and he is just like the GOAT. But especially because he's racing for as long as he was and everything like that. And just he loves a bit of a luminous luminous colors in there as well. But I do like Marc Marquez. You know, like I think me and my granddad took me to my first ever MotoGP race. This was back when I did motocross, and like he was racing. It was just good to see it in person. It was at Silverstone, which not a lot of people, you know, it's not the best track for watching. Yeah. But for me, for it being the first time, it was just good to be in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I absolutely, Valentino Rossi is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Listen, I'm not taking nothing away from Marc Marquez. This is not a debate. I don't want to get into a big debate, but this is why I say it, okay? Because Valentino, he raced 125s, 250s, and 500s, won titles on all of them. Then they went to the 4-stroke 990s, won more titles, went to the 800, right? So went from 500 2-stroke, 990 4-stroke, 800 4-stroke, back to 1,000, right? Changed his riding style and won titles in every one of them. And yeah, just changed the sport, man. Changed it that's why MotoGP is as big as it is now, is because of Valentino Rossi. You know, you can go to any country.
Yeah, everyone knows that name. Everyone knows that number.
Big, bright yellow 4.6. Even grandma cooking mashed potatoes down the streets could be like, that's Valentino Rossi, right? I mean, so as far as my favorite rider today, man, since Rossi retired, man, I find it hard to really have a diehard, you know, super, super big favorite. But man, because I love all of them. I'm such a fan, right? But when I do go out and buy merch, it's Brad Binder, Jack Miller. Dude, they're just I like them. I really like those two. I like Marco Bezzecchi a lot too. Marc Marquez, I'm coming to respect more than I did when him and Rossi were battling out. Just because all the injuries he's come back from, his diploma, he's willing to put, you know, his life on the line and change. I think it's good for him to change manufacturers. I've been waiting on that for a long time. So what I mean by that,
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
If he wins on this Ducati, right, like a title on it, then that just really cements him as being one of the legends of the sport. Not that he's not already, but it's just, I guess for me, it'll confirm it.
Yeah, because it'll show that he's got the ability on different bikes as well, rather than just the same.
That's right. So it's a big season. How do you think he's going to do on the Ducati?
I think from the clips, from what I've seen, like and stuff, he's taken to it all right. You know, pretty like getting like quite quickly. I think he'll do quite well, to be honest. I think he'll do quite well. The season as a whole, it might. I think I'm not sure if it will be sort of right at the pointy end this season, but definitely, I think he'll probably put in quite a good performance across the whole season. Anyway, what do you think?
Man, listen, I think you know, this year with 2023 goes, Jorge Martin, Ducati didn't want him to win the title. Being a satellite rider, even though he's on a factory bike, just not in factory colors, right? So they were in a predicament this year because if, let's say, Martin pulled it off, they were ready to put Bastianini on Martin's bike, Martin on the red bike. That way they'd have the number one on the factory team, not the other team, Primac, right? But now they signed one of the greatest road racers right now in our sport, Marc Marquez. And then in the test, he did really good, right? So now they're even in a worse predicament, right? Because Marquez might be the first guy, if he can put it together, to win a title on a satellite bike, which means, are they going to put him on the factory bike in 2025 if that happens, right? So there's a lot going on there.
There is. I guess they've just got to see how the season ends up, like panning out, and then make a decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Julia, been great listening to you both. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Love me and Sammy. Yes. I listen. I love both of you. Absolutely. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you guys too as well. Man, and then in World Superbike, Caden, right? We got Top Rack on the BMW. We got Johnny Ray on the Yamaha. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Top Rack when he went to the BSB at Cadwell, and he was like jumping the mountain after like his like second time round or something like that. It was actually nuts. Like not just a small jump as well, like proper sending it, and then just he's just what a rider. I mean, coming from like a stunt background though, it gives you a few tricks,
Yeah.
which definitely helps, especially with sort of like that's what people know him for, really, as like within the sort of racing, because he's just got some extra little skills in his pocket. Really, like it's just pretty cool. But yeah, no, he's probably another sort of rider that I do like to watch.
Yeah, I like.
Especially seeing him in person, doing stuff like that. It's just a bit nuts.
So, did you actually meet him and get a picture and stuff with him?
Didn't get a picture, but I was watching at the mountain when he was going around, so I could see that. But no, I didn't get to meet him. Probably would have been quite nice, but
That's right.
it was just good for me to watch. It was just like it's pretty insane.
It is. It is. What man, I would love to see you out here racing in Moto America, man. You have any plans or agendas to actually try to make it out here and
I don't
do a
know. I
round or
don't know
two?
about that. It'd be really good, especially
Yeah.
because the tracks out there are quite different. So it would be such a good experience, but it's not something that's been really thought about, especially because the cost of getting out there would be a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, it'd almost be like where you'd have to be on somebody else's bike, right? You just basically fly out here with your leathers and helmets and yeah. But dude, if you do ever find your way out here, you and your family's always welcome to stay at my
Oh,
casa,
thank you. Yeah,
casa for free.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, thank you very much. That's
Yeah,
very
man.
kind.
Yeah, dude. No problem, man. No problem at all. Man, listen, dude, we're hour 16 into this, and it only seems like we've been going for like 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, no,
I know.
I just looked up at the top there and I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, that's what I love. This is part I also love about podcasts, man. We just get into these conversations and just time's just like boom, done, right? Do you man, I just had another brain fart. I can't believe I just had another brain fart. I had this proper question in my head and it just seemed to disappear for
Wow, that happens
some
to me
reason.
all the time.
Yeah,
That happens to me all the time. I'll be about to ask something, and then the smallest of things will distract me. The thought will
yep.
get lost, and then I'll probably remember in an hour, or you'll probably end up remembering in like an hour's time what that question was, just out of the blue.
No, I just remembered it right now. But before I ask it, Martin Adams says, "Good luck for
Thank you
2024,
very
Caden."
much.
Absolutely. So if you could have any race bike and be on any race team in the world, what bike, what team, what series, and who's your teammate? It could be British
Ooh.
Superbikes, Moto America, World Superbike, MotoGP, any motorcycle, any teammate.
I think it would have to be MotoGP because there's not really bike like you'd never ride a bike like it. Do you know what I mean? They're just like a complete different bike.
Yep.
I feel like, especially, I know there's a lot of like electronics, but I just think for me that might make it quite interesting to see what it'd be like. I think I've never rode like a not Kawasaki, a KTM or a Ducati, so it'd probably be one of those two. I'm not sure what one I'd want to pick, but
Not the Aprilia?
I don't know. Only purely because like I've ridden in an Aprilia as a brand. The Aprilia though, that would be good. I don't know.
Such
I
a
don't know.
beautiful bike.
I'm really bad at making like decisions. Like, you know, like, I'm very indecisive. So
I
like
see
for
that.
a question like that, it's like I wouldn't even know what to pick.
Okay, let's just say this: MotoGP, KTM. Right, I answered it for you. MotoGP,
Yeah,
KTM. Who's your teammate?
I've probably been there. I think that'd be quite good. Like, I feel like it'd be just quite a good laugh, maybe as well.
Yeah.
You know, like off track.
Yeah, it would be.
Especially,
Absolutely.
yeah. I think that could be. I think that'd be it. It'd be quite interesting as well, especially with the I'm not too. My Spanish ain't that great. Don't know any Italian, so It'd be quite easy to communicate as well.
Yeah, yeah. I have a question from Lewis. Lewis says, "What helps you concentrate out on the track?"
Oh, that is a good one. I feel like what I do is just sort of block out any other thoughts when I'm going into the race. Like sort of when I'm, like I said before, when I start thinking about that first corner, just forget about everything else and just think about racing. And then if I'm actively thinking, I'm always thinking how, like, if there's a guy in front of me, how am I going to catch him? Analyzing where he's slower. Like I'm always concentrating on the task at hand, which is to overtake the person in front of me, do a quicker lap. If I mess up, that's like, how do I not do that next time? So I feel like I'm always thinking about quite a lot. It'd be quite hard to start concentrating on other things. So I just get locked into the racing and sort of, and just ride, try block everything out. But then with the endurances, like what me and Nikki were doing, you're backing off the pace. You're not putting in your quickest lap every lap. It's just trying to stay consistent. So sometimes I find myself, if I've got a song in my head before I go out on track, I find myself riding around just like humming along to the song, and I'm starting to think like, right, I've got to get this song out of my head, because I might just spend the whole like 20-30 minutes literally just doing a little tune of the song in my head, like, and I get a bit distracted. But
Singing Drake,
right.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, literally. As I'm going, trying to overtake people singing that in my head. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Right. It's all right in the endurances because you're a bit off the pace. You're just trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, for sure. Sam says, Sam Kelly, what is up, man? He says, are you sponsored by Stone Island?
No, he's asking that. I've got my hands up there, and it looks like I'm trying to get the badge in all the time. It must have got a little Stone Island jacket on right now, but no, I wish I was. Get some Stone Island X Caiden 59 merch. That would be quite cool.
That would be, that would absolutely be proper. Yeah. So, did you watch any other sports besides, like, before I ask you that question, do you physically yourself watch like MotoGP and World Superbike and Moto America or anything? Or
it's really weird because I'm not like, I wouldn't even say I'm a fan of like a particular rider. I've tend really sort of not to watch it, as like, like some people will sit down when it comes on, or like, and just sort of, I'm not like a diehard fan, which is really odd because obviously it's the sport I do. So like I do watch like quite a bit of sport, but I don't know. Like a lot of my friends were into F1. As soon as the F1 comes on, that's that whole day, sort of that whole day be just there watching it. Or like, I don't tend to do that. I don't really tend to do that. I follow it.
I follow it too, but man, F1 is just so hard to watch, bro. Let's just be honest. It's like,
it's not as exciting. It's not as exciting as motorbike racing at all.
Dude, absolutely not. Right? I mean, dude, I think Formula One could do that. So their series on Netflix was fucking proper, dude, for real.
Yeah, no, that's a good watch. That's definitely, because it just takes the best bits and creates a bit of a story out of it.
Yeah, but man, it's just so hard for them to pass on track, because all the tracks are super narrow and the cars are like 19 feet wide. It's it's good. Don't get me wrong. I love Red Bull. One of my favorite drivers is Daniel Ricciardo. Always like Daniel Ricciardo, right?
Proper character.
Yeah, dude, that's what I loved about him, man. Just how outgoing. I like Lando Norris. I'm a big fan of his. But yeah, it's probably so. Do you watch like soccer? Let me ask you this: favorite soccer team?
Burnley. What a team! What a team! Back when Sean Dyche was the manager, absolute goat. It's an unpopular opinion. Like, once again, I'm not a diehard fan. Like, you won't catch me at every home game, but whenever they're playing, I'll throw on the game.
Yeah.
But a lot of my friends are sort of more local teams. So like, I've got a couple friends who are Peterborough fans, Derby fans. That's where I live at the minute in Derby. So I live right next to the stadium. So
Nice.
I might try get to a few games if I can. But I like the atmosphere of being at the football. It's just, get a good crowd, a good chant.
Everybody talking trash.
Yeah.
Drinking pints. Yeah, it's fun, man. I like here in the United States is Inter Miami for me.
Yeah.
I like Inter Miami. Over there, I did follow PSG Paris because Neymar and Mbappe, because I really like them too. I tell people I like Neymar Jr. and they're like, "You like fucking Neymar? Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Dude, Neymar is
Neymar's got some serious skills,
bro. Neymar, yes, Neymar is he's got some skills, just like what you said. Speaking of that, David Beckman on Netflix is really good.
That was a really good.
I haven't finished it, but yes, I have been watching that one. Absolutely. Nikki says, "Fucking Burnley, and Sledge."
Who would have thought, eh?
Right. That's a good one. He says, "Who's the GOAT of soccer?" In my opinion, Lewis is Messi.
Yeah, it's got to be Messi.
Hands down, Messi. Yeah, for sure. Lewis, who's your favorite GOAT soccer, right? I mean, of course, we can go back and talk about Pele, and dude, there's so many, soccer, man, there's so many good players in soccer. It's not like, look, Caden, out of all the motorcycle racers in the world, right, that aspirated, there's only probably 100 that actually are racing professionally out of World Superbike, MotoGP, BSB,
like
Moto
top
America,
level,
right at the top level. So this is definitely a question I have for you, right? So you can't always race. So what are you going to do, or what's your plans for job future wise as far as non-racing goes, like to fall back on?
So like I go to university at the minute in Nottingham, and so I'm getting a degree in business management and entrepreneurship. So I've got a degree to fall back on, sort of, because you need your education at the end of the day. Is a good backup. So I'm doing that. But then at the minute I'm doing funnily enough, I work for Pirelli at the minute on my placement year. So I'm just working there for 1 year to gain experience. It's quite a good company to work for me anyway. Using their tires and being in the sport.
Right.
So it's quite good. And then everyone there, well, not everyone, but so the people that are into the motorbiking there will sort of say hello and ask how I'm doing and that. So it's quite good. But post uni, I don't have a plan as such to a particular role I want to go into. We'll have to try work something out like a bit closer to the time when I get there. But no, I've got getting a degree, so I'll have sort of something, degree and experience. So hopefully that will help me find a job afterwards.
Oh, for sure. 110% it will. So Lewis says has to be Messi, but yes, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Who can't listen, he's definitely Ronaldo's like, if it was me, I would say Messi, and then Ronaldo would have to be second because he's his foot game is proper too, right? You just got certain players in the game that just bring this whole aura, this whole vibe, meaning that I'm gonna use Michael Jordan as an example, right? So if Michael Jordan shows up, you're automatically, naturally, I say, gonna want to be better, play better, just naturally, right? Because of who he is. He's on your team, or you're playing against him. And he brings out the best out of everybody on the team, right? Just because he's there and of who he is. Same thing with Messi, same thing with Ronaldo, Mbappe, all those guys. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. But man, soccer, I've been playing PlayStation or Xbox.
I'm an Xbox man myself.
Boo, we're ending the podcast bot. No, I'm just playing.
No, I used to have a PlayStation 4, but all of my friends sort of had Xboxes, so I ended up getting one. This was way before you could sort of cross play, so I've had an Xbox ever since. But yeah, you're a PlayStation man.
Yeah, I like the PlayStation. Man, I had an Xbox. I bought the Xbox for that Star Wars game that come out. I can't remember the name of it. The second one was the Sith Lords, I think it was called. It was a really good game. And then I got into with Gears of War was my game for the Xbox.
Yeah.
Gears of War was a lot of fun. I used to be a Halo guy, right? And then, dude, everybody started jumping on Halo, and I was like, dude, this is the gayest shit ever. Like, I can't even play it no more. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even mess with
one of
it.
my mates, Tom, really big Halo fan. He still like on the old Xbox 360 sometimes gets on a bit of Halo. I just don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. It's like, come on now. Can't back in its day maybe, but nowadays, no one's playing Halo.
No. So what game are you playing right now? What's in the console right now? If you were to turn the button on power, what's popping up?
Probably Fortnite, if I'm honest. Got back into it. They've just done sort of a couple big updates. So we gathered up the squad, all the boys and we'll hop on there. There's also a new thing out at the minute. It's basically like Guitar Hero, but like it literally is Guitar Hero, but basically for Xbox. So I've been practicing at that. But I've not really been playing too much Xbox at the minute. I've been busy. I've been sort of he's rolling around.
He's back. Again. I see him again. What's up, buddy? That's awesome.
He's chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling.
But yeah, I play a bit of FIFA as well. Yeah.
Bro, I was gonna say you fire mine
out of all my mates as well, I'm probably the best. So that helps. I beat everyone.
Okay, well, listen. I do play Fortnite. Like my son's, he's actually in there on my PS5 playing Fortnite. So I will message you my gamer tag. We'll have to get on there and play some.
We'll have to play.
Yeah, me and all your mates. We'll get on there and straight rock it out. I got FIFA 2023. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. Just downloaded the God of War Ragnarok, which I hadn't played yet.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of my mates, I'm pretty sure he was playing that the other day. I think he might have sat there and like just for a couple of days and just completed it. He just loves. I'm not a big single player game like storyline game fan myself. I'm not sure why, but I got a couple mates who just love that sort of stuff, and they always play through to the end.
I'm one of your mates that do the same thing. I love that shit, man. I get on a game, the story mode. To me, that's everything is the story mode, man. It's like that's what's gonna tell me if it's a really good game or not. Ethan says Unit 13 or Rock City.
These are two clubs in Nottingham. It's probably because I mentioned Nottingham earlier. I'd say depending on the day, to be honest. If you're going on because in Nottingham, basically the clubs are pretty much open every single day in the week and on the weekends. And I'd probably say Unit 13. Can't go wrong. However, with Rock City, it's got a big balcony. You can look over everyone. You feel like you're from Power if you just stood up there leaning against the balcony. So both very good clubs, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. CFC Tom, Assassin's Creed is a goated franchise. Man, I've been a huge Assassin's Creed. I played every single one of them from the beginning. Out of all of them to this day, my favorite two so far is the Egypt Assassin's Creed, and I'm really big into like Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology.
No, it's good. So, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and I love the Spartans. So of course, Assassin's Creed with the Spartans in it was probably that in Odyssey and Origins are my two favorite Assassin's Creed for sure. Dude, what is your favorite food, Caden?
I love Mexican food.
Me too, right? Who don't? Mexican
food.
Do you like spicy?
Yeah, I'm into spicy food. I think it's probably because my dad used to feed me like spicy salsa when I was a kid because I wouldn't react to eating it, and he found it funny. But it kind of helped. I love spicy food. If I go get a curry sort of over here, I have to get one that's going to make me want to sweat a little bit, like, oof, like that's quite spicy, but I just love spicy food. If it wasn't Mexican, it'd be like Italian. Like I'm a big pasta fan.
Yeah, I like pasta too. Yeah, I like everything you just said, right? I also love Greek food, Thai food. Thai food is probably one of my favorites. I love Thai food. Indian food's really good. Look at Marcus. What is up, man? What's going on, bud?
All right, Chrissy boy.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm a bit out of breath. I've just come back from the bar.
Nice. Couple pints, huh?
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you too, mate.
There's sorry, I shouldn't really crash a parent-friendly, children-friendly evening, but oh God, I should have caught my breath. I should have caught my breath back before come steaming in there. But I'm with a load of folk down at the Glatthorne Village Hall. We've all been watching you down there. We've been watching Caden doing this podcast. And we thought it's fantastic. So I thought I'd just come down here and say, well done. Great show, Chris. We love you.
I love you too, mate. Appreciate you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. There is basically where we live on like a Friday usually. There's a big thing where everyone goes down there and watches from where we live. So I think, by the sounds of it, they've had it up there and they've been watching it.
Listen,
quite a few people down there. So yeah,
bro, what an honor, man. Like I said from the get-go, man, it was an honor to be at Cadwell. It was definitely an honor to meet you and your dad, and just to be mates and stay mates and be able to do this and share the same love of the sport is everything. It's awesome. Yeah, it's proper. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Sorry, Chris.
No, you're good.
We've had a few beers this evening. I better go back and join the crew back at the Village Hall bar.
Will you tell everybody I said hello?
Because I've been running to get here, and now I'm going to run back there for me beer.
Enjoy,
Merry
mate. Have
Christmas
one for me.
And Happy New Year, Chris.
Merry
Lovely
Christmas,
to see
mate.
you.
You too, mate.
Take care.
You too. That's awesome. Your dad's proper, man.
I did tell you he's probably going to pop in at some point.
It's okay. I love it. I love when I had Finn Wheaton on it. I brought his mama in, and she was in there on with us too. So it's
yeah.
I love it, dude. It's great, man. It's because it's great to see all the love and support, and I just want to be different than everybody doing it. So I enjoy it, man. I think it's awesome. Like my son pops in here, my dogs will come in. I don't care. Come on in. Say hi. It's yeah, man, it's good stuff. But anyway, back to Spice, Caden. So do you watch the hot ones on YouTube?
No.
Oh, bro, dude. So you need to Google the hot ones. It's a YouTube show where this bald-headed guy, I forget his name.
Yes, I have seen that. And
and he interviews with the 10 chicken wings.
And spice. Yeah. No, I have seen that.
Okay,
actually.
So the last dab, which is the last bottle of hot sauce, I have that in my refrigerator, and I eat that on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
it's hot. It's like 3 million Scoville, which is pretty hot.
Yeah. I don't know if I could actually hack that. Maybe.
Oh, dude, you can do it if you like spice. Trust me, you can do it because it is hot, but man, it's really good flavor. That's what kind of throws you off about it. Because I mean, let's just be honest. I like hot stuff. The worst I've ever had is okay. So the hottest thing I ever did naturally by myself just to take is the. Have you ever heard of the Death Nut Challenge?
No,
bro. So there's these peanuts.
Challenge, no.
Okay, there's these peanuts. They're 13 million Scoville.
Yeah.
Okay, so I ate 4 of them bad boys
in one go, like 4.
Yeah, 4 at a time.
Jeez.
And it was the most euphoria I've ever felt in my life. Meaning that it felt like at first, dude, it was super painful. It felt like somebody just pulled my tongue out, was stabbing it with an ice pick, poured gasoline on it, set it on fire, and then put it back in my mouth, right? But then after about, I don't know, 45 seconds, a minute of crying from sheer just pain and all this, right? All of a sudden, I just went super numb. Like I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel my body. It was the weirdest experience. And I felt like this euphoria high that I've never felt before. It was crazy, right? But it was a mistake. I don't recommend you do it because the next couple of days after that, it's not so pleasant.
Aftermath involved with that,
bro. Yeah, it's not pleasant. But this hot sauce, the last dab, it's really good, right? it's proper. It is. It's good stuff. You should try it sometime. But the Indian food, back to that real quick. So I go to this Indian restaurant. I'm all like, because Caden, you got to be in a mood to eat something really spicy, because you get like that too, right? You're like, I'm in the mood. I'm just gonna eat something really spicy.
Yeah.
So the Indian guy comes up to me and he's like, the level of spice from 0 to 5, 5 being the hottest. I said, let me get a 6. And he looks at me. He's like, you think you can handle a 3? I said, bring me the hottest stuff you got. Tiki masala, love it. Sitting down, I get about 5-6 bites into it. And as I'm chewing, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And it was like, bro, somebody just dumped gasoline on my body and lit it on fire. I mean, from the head to my toes. Like I never experienced that type of heat. And it was it wasn't pleasant. It was so unpleasant that I couldn't even eat another bite of my food. It was not fun. But yes, I do like spice.
Have you heard of like a vindaloo?
A vindaloo. It sounds familiar.
That's a very spicy curry. I've never.
Oh yes. We tried. I think me and no, I take it back. That's not what we had. I was gonna say because me and Daniel Parker and Aaron Lilly went out to eat at a Indian restaurant when we was there in Louth. I can't remember what I think I got tiki masala there, and they got some crazy stuff, and we all tried each other. But I don't think vindaloo was one. It kind of sounds like something they ordered. All that stuff kind of sounds the same.
Yeah, no, they all do have. There's like they've all got similar names. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. It probably does. So listen, bro, we're an hour and 40 minutes into this, dude. This is awesome, man. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll definitely have to get another one booked in.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll when we get off here, we'll settle up and talk about that. We'll go ahead and pre-schedule one and all that good stuff. But listen. It's an honor to have you on, Caden. Finally, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Before we get off here, I'm gonna start off just by saying what an honor it is for to meet you and your dad at Cadwell. What an honor it was for you to run this sticker on your bike, dude. It made absolutely proper. Made my weekend. Thank you to everybody that always likes and watches to the live video. This podcast will be out tomorrow on Spotify, all major listening platforms, but Apple right now. I got approved. They just want this RSS feed and my logo put into like this. Man, I don't know because I'm not the best computer guy, right?
Yeah. Just all the formatting.
Yeah, all the formats. If anybody out there is listening that can actually help me out on this, please message me and help me figure this one out. But yes, it'll be on all major listening platforms tomorrow. Thanks for everybody that tuned in and watches today, especially to your dad and all the mates down there at the pub. Hello, guys. Have a pint for me for sure. Cheers. Let's go. Nikki, Doug, Lewis, everybody, Julius, Sam, Luke, mate, everybody. I just want to say a big thank you. What an honor. Obviously real quick too, I want to say a big thank you and a shout out to Jake Marsh and his dad, Pete. You guys are proper mega. I love you guys. Again, Martin Adams, mate, my man from the Clothing King. If anybody wants to buy any Pin to Gas podcast merchandise or my boy Jake, look no further. It's theclothingking.co.uk. Big shout out to my mates Gary and Jane from California Superbike School UK. If anybody over there wants to throw their legs over a bike and have a proper good time around a racetrack with the best lads you can meet and have a good time and properly learn how to ride, look no further than the California Superbike School. You can find them at California Superbike School UK.co. So Caden, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at and follow you on all social media?
Yeah, so if you want to find me, I'm most active on Facebook and Instagram, and my tag is C59DEN. So it's just my name with a 59 instead of the A and the I. And so I usually do sort of regular updates on Facebook, and then for Instagram, it's more to showcase all the photos and videos. So if you want to check me out, just head over there and drop a follow. Any questions, if anyone wants to send me any more questions, just shoot me over a message, and I'm always happy to help out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't have a Club Caden yet?
No, I don't.
Get you a Club Caden.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything like that going on at the minute. That's something that we've been looking into. But, you know, if and when something like that, you know, gets brought to reality, obviously that's where I'll be posting about that on my social medias.
Well, we're going to talk about that when we get off of here in a few minutes for sure.
Yeah.
So listen, Nikki Williams, another great podcast, Chris, keep him coming, buddy. Tap up Wills Williams. You need to get him on, mate. Nikki, you already know what I'm going to say. Let's make it happen, buddy. Absolutely. I'm game 110%. But listen, I just want to say again, thank you so much to everybody. All you guys are super proper mega. Again, you can find me on anywhere on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Again, thank you guys so much. Until next time, I am the host, Chris the Show Simcoe, my good mate, Caiden Wilkinson in the house, BSB.
Yeah.
Can't wait for 2024. And thank you guys so much. And just remember, everybody, stay true to yourself. Be kind to everybody, right? You see your mom and dad and your brother today, go give them a big old hug. Tell them how much you appreciate them and love them. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, pin the gas, baby. Until next time, see you guys.